And again, like I said, you have to always ask more from yourself. Not just like, okay, I've been here, done this, stop. Do we ever like say, okay, I passed 12th standard, I'm going to be here? No, you go and do college, then you go to work and you want to get promoted. So you want to keep going. So personally, you also have to look into yourself and ask, what more can I do? So this was one of the toughest race in the world, and till this day, I'm the only Indian national who has ever finished this race, cycling across Australia, nearly 5,800 kilometers, unsupported, solo, carrying everything on your back. So in this case, right, one funny story is I got a big kangaroo jumped on me at 3 in the morning. They are like very, very big kangaroo. So 3 in the morning, I was cycling and it came out of nowhere and jumped on me and pushed me on the side of the road. And my bicycle fell and it broke. So I have to almost like take like 1 day break to fix my bicycle and then keep going. So yeah, in my case, the surprise came in the form of even like a kangaroo. And then this was my run across New Zealand from top to bottom, 3,100 kilometers. Again, you may be thinking I'll be running in the road, beautiful sections, but it's inhumane conditions. Running in like snowy conditions in winter, carrying everything on your back. And again, became the first Indian to ever do this thing, running from top to bottom. This specific example is really good because, again, the challenges, right? You never know what will come and hit you in the middle of nowhere. So if you look at my X-ray very clear, the second bone right next to the big bone, you'll see that there is a big fracture. So when I was just finishing with 300 kilometers to go, I was running in the mountain and a big wind came and like pushed me. It's like almost 180, 200 kilometers per hour wind. I fell down and I woke up and I felt a little bit of pain, but it felt okay. So I couldn't run the last 300 kilometers. So I picked up two sticks and I ended up walking. So instead of running 50, 60 kilometers per day, I ended up doing like 20, 30 kilometers in the mountains. But I finished it because that was my dream of doing this race to raise money. What was fueling me was my passion, my why I'm doing this, right? There has to be a purpose to that passion and to that dream. If your purpose, that why is really big, that will help you figure out your what, when, where, why, and how. But figure out that why, figure out that purpose. Why are you doing this? Anything that you do, why are you doing this? It could be running, it could be climbing a mountain, it could be starting a company, it could be starting a project, it could be anything. But figure out your why, because that is going to drive your whole goal, your dream, everything. And if your why is really big, even a broken bone wouldn't stop you. You will be relentless and resilient. And life is not just about that, right? You want to follow your passions. So I had a lot of passion. You may be thinking I was maybe from a very rich family. I had a lot of money. No, my dream was to become an architect. I wanted to build like big, big buildings, but I didn't have the funds. So that was my passion, but you need money to survive. So I became an engineer. And again, I picked up engineering, but I was the best at what I was doing. Scored amazing. My project ended up in the front page of a magazine. I did a robot back in those days. But my passion has always been like, to travel and to go and do extreme adventures. So I lived in California for a while. So I always wanted to learn surfing. So that was my first day when I surfed in the Pacific in California. And when I see people jumping out of the airplanes, I jumped with someone else as a tandem. And I decided I want to get my own license and I want to become a certified skydiver. So that was the day I became a skydiver. So that was my first and complete solo jump. That was like one of the most amazing experience. And sometimes life is also about taking that leap of faith. Everyone talks about comfort zone, right? Everything is nice, everything is safe, but you know what, your dreams or your goals should be so scary that you will be thinking and hesitating. You will be like engulfed in fear for a second, thinking what is going to happen. Am I going to succeed? Am I going to fail? Should I even do this? Forget it. Let's just be here. Why take chances? Let's be safe. But you know what? All the beautiful, magical things happen when you take that leap of faith. And the leap of faith feels like this sometimes. This could be like, as simple as
Three, two, one,
this.
bungee go, my man. Awesome.
That you just saw what happened in like, 6 seconds, 7 seconds. But that moment, when I was standing there, the next 1 minute, 2 minute feels like 2 hours. You're just there, you're looking at that river. It looks nice and blue, but it's almost like 1 degree, extremely, extremely cold. And when the guy asked me, do you want to just stay in the air or you want to go under the water? I said, no, I want to go full on. I want to go under the water. And just standing there, no one is going to push you. You have to make that leap of faith. So whenever I look at this video, I compare it to real life analogy as well. When I'm doing something, though I've done so much, when I take up a project now, I always think, should I do it? No, this is not safe. It's very risky. But then at some point, you have to take that leap of faith to succeed and also to have joy and fun in life. And this is all my passion project, right? To sit in some of the remotest place, to rock climb some of the biggest mountains. So this is in Tasmania, the one of the biggest cliff in the entire southern hemisphere. And again, a mind-blowing experience. You can see my hair, how it's flying. It's so windy because if you stand there, you will fall. So you got to be extremely, extremely careful. So again, what you see is a video of a guy sitting in the very top of the mountain. But you know what? With the process that you don't see is me planning, working, saving up my money, getting the visa, doing all the training, and getting all the gears. And then comes the real part. When you stand at the base of the rock and you're going to climb that rock and you look up, after all that work, anything can happen. There's no surety that I'm going to reach the top of the mountain. But you know what? I know is I'm going to give my everything. I'm going to give my 100% to get to the top. And once you achieve, the views are just beautiful once you get to the top. And this was my last adventure where I learned a lot about resilience. This was in Kyrgyzstan. I don't know how many of you know in the map, but this is just north of India, just close to China. And there's a race called the Silk Road Mountain Race, which is one of the world's toughest mountain race. And I went to compete in that 1,710 kilometers with almost the elevation equivalent to climbing the Mount Everest 3 times. And it's all in the mountains. So you have to carry everything. So you can see in my bicycle, I have my tent, sleeping bag, GPS. Everything I needed for the next 2 weeks is on that bicycle. And sometimes it involves crossing extremely tough river section. So that's all the water coming from the mountains, the Tian Shan mountain range. Extremely cold, freezing, and you can see for calories how much of Coke I'm carrying because you need a lot of calories. This was the only adventure. Within 12 days, I lost about 16 kilograms in just 12 days. That's how much of a tough adventure this is. But all said and done, again, my adventure, my challenge came in the form of a tire failure. So you can see my finger, right? So there was a big rod that went right through the tire, causing a big hole into the tire. And then, this is when you find that opportunities, right? To find the deeper powers within yourself, which comes when life seems most challenging. So what I did to overcome this is I had my purse. What I did was I took my wallet, it's made with one of the strongest fabric, and I emptied all my money outside. I put the wallet, my purse inside the tire, put my tube inside, then used up all the duct tape somehow to fix it. So when the race director saw me in the mountain like this, I was on the side of the mountain crying because I trained so hard to do this race. Almost like 1 year, trained so hard. But I'm fit, I'm strong, but my bicycle tire is broken. I could see my dreams vanish in front of my eyes. So it's okay to cry sometimes when you get hit by something that you never anticipated or expected, but those are also the opportunities to find and deep inside you to find that something that you never thought existed. So there were a lot of people who were behind me, they were passing me, who were like almost 1 2 days behind me, they were passing me because I became very slow. But it doesn't matter, like I said, plan A, plan B, plan C, you need to have other plans. But eventually when I crossed that finish line, no one could believe that I even crossed that finish line. The race director was like, "Man, I never thought you would come here." So finished it. So tough times last, but tough times don't last, but tough people do. So it's like nothing lasts forever. So if you're going through tough time, like especially now with COVID-19 going on, this is a tough time for sure. But just know that you're not the only person going through this. There's the whole world going through this problem. But you know what? At the end of the day, the tough people will last forever, and nothing, this phase is going to go away pretty soon. And you don't get ahead by having the potential to do something, guys. You get ahead by doing it. So you can say, I want to do this, I want to do that. For example, the host was saying he felt really motivated, he wanted to get a bicycle and he wants to go do it. Many of you will have a lot of plans, lot of adventures, lots in the pipeline. You're all studying in an amazing school, you have a big list of want to do. It's always easy to write things easily, but you have to go ahead and do it because, like I said, you have the potential in you, or you can find the skill that is needed to build up that potential. But you got to leave somewhere to go somewhere, and that is the only way you can accomplish anything. But all said and done, dream big, be bold, and on top of all of it, be kind. Because you know what? You're going to need some help to achieve your dreams and goals. Just like your parents are supporting you, your friends are supporting you, your amazing lecturers and professors are supporting you. Why? Because they want you to succeed in achieving your dream. And also set amazing goals, because you will never accomplish great things with small goals. But you know what? The beauty of it, if you follow your dreams and passion, be resilient and tough and never give up, not only will you have the joy of achieving your success and living a very happy life, but you along the way, you will also end up helping a lot of people. Just know that your skill is not yours. It is meant to help someone. Even my skill of running, right? I never thought just running marathons and climbing mountains and cycling will be helping me to raise crores of rupees to help people that I've never met before. So be really nice and be really kind to each other, because that's the only way we can all get through this tough phase, and we can all be happy and be together. So you know we may all think that, oh, I don't have anything. So you all have technology. The very fact that I'm sitting here with a computer, with internet, with electricity, with water, having enough food, have some gratitude, because there are so many people who don't have that very thing in right now. People who have lost their loved and dear ones to COVID, people going through a lot of tough times. So think back and have a little bit of gratitude. Count your blessings that your parents, your friends, people that are safe and healthy, and you of all the people are physically fit and fine. And that is the most biggest gift that you have in following your dreams and passions. And this is one picture that I always remind myself. Like I said, when I was 13 years old, I grew up in a slum. So I used to go to the old paper shop where they take all the paper that you throw away for weight. And I was looking at National Geographic magazine, and I saw the front page, and the front page of the magazine was Half Dome. It's an iconic mountain in California. So when I was 13 years old, I just told myself, you know what? One day I'm going to climb that mountain and I'm going to sit there. 13 years old, front page of a magazine. I didn't know where it was. And I'm sitting in a slum in North Chennai in Kurukpet. and people were laughing at me. They were just like, dude, what are you talking about? நம்ம லைஃப்ல ஒரு வாட்டி பிளேன்ல போனாலே பெரிய விஷயம். That's what they said. So they said like, don't have unrealistic goals. It's not going to happen. So that's one of the biggest lesson that I learned. Never listen to the naysayers. Don't listen to the people who's gonna say, no, this is not possible, that is not possible. Figure out a way to do it. It will take time, it will take hard work, it will take a lot of dedication and sacrifices, and most importantly, it will take a lot of time. But I may have seen that magazine when I was 13 years old, but 15 years later, I was sitting in the exact same mountain spot that I saw in the magazine one day. So, no matter how big your dreams and goals are, be passionate, chase them relentlessly, be resilient, and be tough. And you know what? You're not even like sky is your limit. You can achieve anything. So, on that note, that was my quick presentation.